In a previous video, I shared 9 different responses that sometimes our friends or we might need after we're doing our sharing. I mean, most of friendship is talking and interacting and getting to know each other and opening up. And as we get deeper and as we get closer with each other, we're hopefully opening up and sharing even more of ourselves as we move up the triangle with increased positivity and consistency and vulnerability. The vulnerability is as we're processing more of our lives. We're sharing more of what's going on externally. We're sharing more of what's going on internally. And so we're having a lot more conversations, which means that we're getting to know each other, but we also have more opportunity for not responding the way that our friends want us to or receiving the response that we want to. And so the previous video, I highlighted 9 different ways of responding that will help each one of us better own identifying what response we want so we can learn to ask for it from our friends. And now I want to highlight in the upcoming videos, 3 short videos, if there's only 3 ways that we need to learn to respond to our friends, then these are the 3. And today I'm doing the first one. Without a doubt, the one response that whenever you don't know how to respond, whenever you don't quite know what they're needing or what you need, most of us, it'll come down to wanting validation. Validation is a big word. We sometimes make the mistake of thinking that it means we are agreeing with someone or telling them we think it's okay that they feel that way. And so some people have a hard time with that because they go, yeah, but I don't think they should feel that way. Or, but I don't think that's right. Or I don't think she should stay with him. Or I don't think that he's making the right choice there. And validation is not you getting to vote. Validation isn't weighing in. Validation is simply acknowledging that I see you and I still accept you. It's finding the words that say, I hear you and you're okay to me. I'm glad you're sharing with me. Thank you for trusting me. Validation is acknowledging that whatever they're feeling and whatever they're saying, you see it, you get it. And this is a really tricky one because we have a hard time separating how we feel versus how they feel. And I just want to help keep clarifying that when our friend is sharing with us, our number one job is to be holding a container that's safe. Remember the 3 requirements of relationship. It turns into the definition of friendship is any relationship between 2 people where we both feel seen. That means we both have to be able to be vulnerable in a way that feels safe, which means we have to have done it enough over time and continue to do it well so that we can rely on each other and trust each other in a satisfying way, which means it has to end up leaving them feeling good about who they are, which means not feeling judged. So our responsibility in this friendship is to practice vulnerability, consistency, and positivity, which means ending with them feeling loved. So validation, at the end of the day, is really my ability to say to my friend, it's okay that you're feeling that way. It is okay. It absolutely is okay. It's I see you, and of course it's frustrating. Of course. It's being able to empathize with like, yes, I know that feeling. It's being able to say, your tears don't scare me. It's okay. You can cry. Your joy, your celebration I don't need to change that. I don't need to dampen it. I don't need to start cautioning you right now. It's just letting the other person share the part of them that wants to be seen. It's like the best part of going to therapy or being with somebody that you know just loves you no matter how and who you are. It doesn't mean that we're leaving our friend there, that we're okay with it. There's no other ways to look at it. But most of us aren't sharing because we want to be balanced out. We're not wallowing, hoping that someone cheers us up. That happened to me recently, and I found myself saying, I know, I have enough positivity in me. I know that there's 12 reasons I should be excited and grateful. I know that I have hope. I know that I'll figure it out. But is it okay if like right now I just am, this sucks? And what I want is my friends to say, this sucks. Yeah, absolutely. I don't need them to encourage me. I just needed to be validated that this isn't fun. I don't like this. This is bad news I just found out and I hate it. And I just want my friends to be like, yeah, it makes sense that you hate it. It's just validating that. If I need them to encourage me, then that's a different conversation. But validation is always the first thing we want. I think about with my friends who are sharing something hard and they start crying, and I love being able to say, it's okay. Your tears don't scare me at all. I'm not here to, You don't need to wipe them away. Just keep talking. Tell me what you're feeling and keep going. That's validation. Validation is being able to tap into what somebody is feeling and empathize with that feeling, not their circumstances. We sometimes make the mistake of thinking that I need to that I would feel the same way in those circumstances. I often give the example of financial insecurity. That's one that has often triggered me when other people start complaining about their financial insecurity. I think to myself, wow, they have like 12 times more money than I do. Like, why would they feel that way? And I have to remind myself, it doesn't matter how much money they have. I have 12 times more money than some people, and I wouldn't use that as an excuse why I can't feel it, right? So it doesn't matter that there's people who have less or more. We all know financial insecurity, so I don't need to judge their circumstances. I just tap in and say, I know that feeling. Absolutely. And we can do that. We know what it feels like to be confused in a relationship. We don't need to be frustrated with them. We know what it feels like to be unhappy in our body. We know what it feels like to not know if we're good enough at our job. Like, we know the feeling. And validation is just simply saying, I know that feeling. Or, of course you would feel that way. I see it. Or, it's okay that you feel that way. And so validation is just simply probably the best tool to learn to do, to practice this skill. It is something you practice. It's a muscle that you develop. Just the same way you feel obligated and quick to give advice, that's just a muscle that you have leaned into a lot. That is not the correct tool to use in every circumstance, very few circumstances. But practice validating, even in the hardest of situations. Just think you don't need to worry that they're going to go and take that one feeling and live there forever. People are stronger, they're good, our friends are healthy, amazing people. We can validate their happiness without needing to caution them at the same time. And vice versa, we can validate their sadness without worrying that they're going to stay there forever. We can validate there's reasons to be angry. Even if that thing wouldn't anger us, we know that we get angry at things. So we can say, yeah, it makes complete sense. I get it. I hate it when people do that. We can validate feelings and just meet our friend where they are and say, I see you. Thank you for sharing, and I still accept you. Hold the space for them to keep being seen, because we need it to feel safe and we need it to feel satisfying. And so practice validating, practice saying words that basically communicate that you see them and that you love them just the way they are, because that's what we want. You know that feeling.